Alright guys, I'm going to give you a little preview of some geometry. This is actually a pre-algebra thing that uh, you don't use during algebra, but you use in geometry. So, alright, so this obviously is a triangle, but the really important part here is this symbol right here. Now if you don't know what this is a right angle. That means that this is a 90-degree angle. Okay? Everything I'm about to talk about only works when this is a right angle, when you have a right triangle. Okay? So what we're going to do here is using a formula, we're able to find, if they give us two sides, we can find the third side. And that's what we're measuring here. We're actually measuring sides, we're not measuring angles. Okay? So they have names for these. Okay? The two shorter sides, and this is really important, the two shorter sides will always be connected to this right angle. So these two lines touch the right angle, and those shorter sides are called legs, and the letters we use for those are A and B. Okay, now it didn't matter which one of those I labeled A and which one B. That could have been A and that could have been B, as long as I put them on the two lines where the right angle is touching. Okay, the other side, the longest side, always will be over here. It will be opposite the right angle, or it'll be the line that doesn't touch. Okay, so C is your longest side. Okay, so C is our longest side. So for instance, I'll just give you, so let's go ahead and do a problem. So they're going to give me 2 out of 3 pieces of information. Okay, and we're going to solve it. So I'm going to use some real basic numbers. This is a very common Pythagorean Theorem question. Now, like I said, our two lines that touch the right angle, those are the two shorter sides, those are A and B. Okay, C is the longest side. So here's the other thing I know instantly. If this is 3 and this is 4, this has got to be greater than 4. Okay, because it's got to be our biggest side. Okay, so let's go ahead and work the math. Now these are A and B, not A squared and like A and B. This is our formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And just like anything, we put in what we know. We'll make this A and this B. Okay, so we have 3. Now A is squared, so we have 3 squared. B will be squared. This is B, 4 squared. We don't know what C is, so we just write C squared. And just like with any equation, you go ahead and look at it and go, well, what other math can I do here? Most of you would look at this and go, well, I know what 3 squared is. That's 3 times 3, that's 9. Okay, then we got 4 squared, which is 4 times 4, 16. Okay, now here's what a lot of people want to write 25 over here. Don't do that. Okay, we're just solving this equation. Our equation said C squared. We don't know what that is, so I'm going to write C squared. Okay, now we have a new equation again. When we look at this, we should see 9 plus 16. That's 25. Equals C squared. Now there's no more basic math I can do, so now all I'm trying to do is get this C by itself, which is originally what I was trying to do. So if you remember back, I think when we did quadratics was our first time dealing with squared. So we had C squared, and if I want to get that C by itself, I do the opposite of squaring, which is square root. Again, what number times itself gives us that number. And if we square root that side, where do I square root or I have to square root the other side. So the square root of 25 is 5, and the square root of C squared is C. So our answer here was 5, which makes sense. Okay, because we said it would be the longest side. All right, so I'm going to do one more. All right. So, I'll do one that looks a little backwards. Okay, and I'm just going to use numbers that I know off the top of my head. Let's say 10. 10, 8, and unknown. All right. And there's my right angle. That, again, is our most important thing. That right angle tells me here are A and B, and it does not matter which one I label A and which one B, because again, they can be interchangeable, okay? So I'm gonna say that this is B. Let's say we're solving for A, all right? That's a B, not a 6, all right? All right, so we got A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay, let's say we're solving for A. So I don't know what A is, so I'm gonna leave it alone, A squared. In place of B, we're gonna write 8. But again, B is squared, so 8 squared. Our side that is not touching the right angle is C. So 10 is gonna take the place of C, make sure you square it. Okay, when we look at this problem, I look at it and go, all right, what math can I do? I don't know what A squared is, so I'm gonna rewrite it. Plus 8 squared, 64, equals 10 times 10, 100. Okay, so the only thing I'm looking at now, I see A squared plus 64 equals 100. Well, I can't combine A squared plus 64. But remember, I am trying to get A by itself, so that means we got to get rid of everything on that side. So we need to get rid of the squared, and we got to get rid of plus 64. Or we get rid of stuff in reverse order of operations. So I need to get rid of anything being added or subtracted first. All right, so we get rid of adding 64 by subtracting 64. If I take it away from one side, got to take it away from the other. All right, so A squared, didn't do anything to it, bring it down. 64 minus 64 would be 0. I'm not going to bring the 0 down because I was adding that to the A squared, and A squared plus 0 would just be A squared. And then I have 100 minus 64, which is 36. Right. And again, we got to get this A squared. Got to get rid of the squared, so we square root, A equals 6. All right. And like I said before, C will be your longest side. All right, 10 was our longest side. If this is 6, that makes sense. All righty, guys, good luck.